Hey nerds, Alex here from Nerds Being Geeks, and today we're going to be talking about my Grass Gym Leader Challenge deck. But before we get into the deck list, what is Gym Leader Challenge? So Gym Leader Challenge is an alternate format for the Pokemon trading card game. GLC is a monotype format. That means only one type of Pokemon in your deck. So today we're going to be talking about my grass deck. Only grass Pokemon allowed. It's a singleton format. That means only one copy of each card is allowed, besides basic energy. So if you're trying to build a grass deck and Bulbasaur is your favorite Pokemon, in Standard, you can play 4 Bulbasaur in your deck, but not in GLC. You can only play 1 Bulbasaur. No rule box cards. That means no GX, EX, V, VMAX, V-Star Radiant, or A-Specs, or anything that comes out in the future that has a rule box. So the best place to find most of these cards is gonna be in the bulk boxes. The card pool starts at the black and white set all the way to the present set. Let's get into that deck list. All right, guys, here is my Grass Gym Leader Challenge deck. For the most part, it is a pretty standard Rilasaur build with a few exceptions. So I'd say the 3 main lines in this deck is going to be Torterra with that Evo Press attack for 2 energy, does 50 damage for each of your evolutionary Pokemon in play. And as you can see, there is a lot of evolutionary Pokemon in this deck. These 2 are great search engines, especially when I have 4 stage 3 Pokemon lines. That is usually not the case in GLC. People say it just gets too cluttered, too much prizing. I don't mind it with this deck. It seems to work out just fine. But I also don't play super sweaty meta decks. I just like to build with Pokemon that I like to play with. The next one would be Venusaur. So Venusaur isn't really an attacker. It is definitely a support Pokemon in this deck with the Jungle Totem ability. Each of your basic grass energy in play counts as 2 grass energy now. So it's a really popular and very easy way to power up your Pokemon. Next up is Rillaboom, and look at this shiny boy. Ooh boy, he is nasty. So Rillaboom is really only here for his ability. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 2 grass energy and attach them to one of your Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. So he also accelerates energy. Great way to power up your Pokemon as well. And just to show off, I just did the whole line shiny. Those are not the optimal Thwacky and Grookey, but I like to bling out the deck sometimes. Speaking about bling, Shining Genesect, really amazing art on this. But he also has an ability. Once during your turn, before you attack, you may move a grass energy from one of your other Pokemon to this Pokemon. So if all of your energy with Venusaur's Jungle Totem ability counts as 2, so you're basically moving 2 energies. And the Gyro Blaster attack for 3 colorless, 50 damage. This attack does 20 more damage times the amount of grass energy attached to this Pokemon. So once again, Jungle Totem and Rillaboom's Voltage Beat can really excel to this, and you can hit some big numbers with Shining Genesect. Roserade has become kind of an expensive card for GLC. I mean, it is over $20. And depending if you think it's worth it, go for it. There are other options, but just maybe not as powerful as Roserade's La Parfume ability. When you play this Pokemon from your hand, which is important, make sure it's from your hand. To evolve one of your Pokemon, you may search your deck for any card and put it into your hand, shuffle your deck afterwards. That is all this card is used for, is that La Parfume ability. It's a great ability, can really get you out of a pinch, but it just becomes a bench sitter and an easy target. So my last attacker, and has become one of my favorite cards in this deck, is Bramblegast. This ability, this Pokemon gets 50 HP for each prize card your opponent has taken. I mean, this thing can get up to 300 HP easy, especially at the end of the game, and you attach a Cape of Toughness or a Luxurious Cape, you can get an extra 50, or you can get an extra 100. You can make this Bramblegast over 400 HP if you wanted. Really great in the late game, not the best in the early game. Powerful Needles is a great attack at any point in the game. 1 grass, 2 colorless, flip a coin for each energy attached to this Pokemon. This attack does 80 damage for each heads. So you apply Jungle Totem with this, you could be doing a lot of flips. I think the most I've seen in some of my matches have been 8 dice rolls, because you're doubling the amount of energy attached to Bramblegast. So yeah, he can hit really big numbers, especially with Pokemon like Wailord, who can easily just sit at 200, 300 HP. So nothing too special about my trainer cards. I'm a big advocate for Peonia, if I'm saying that right. You get to go into your prize cards, choose 3 of them, switch them with cards in your hand. This can be huge at any point in the game. You know something's prized. You know, if it's at the start of the game, you have a 50-50 chance of pulling the card you need. This has become like a staple in a lot of my GLC decks. I'm a big fan of Ball Guy. Let you search out 3 cards from your deck that have ball in the name. Obviously, that's for Ultra Ball, Hisuian Heavy Ball, and Net Ball. Ball Guy is a standard in almost all of my GLC decks. And, you know, I know some people don't like Gardenia's Vigor, but I think it's a pretty good card, especially when I have 10 basic energy in my deck. Draw 2 cards. If you drew any cards this way, attach up to 2 grass energy from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon. I picked up this copy of Gardenia's Vigor because, for my wife, she is very much into gardening, and sometimes she'll play some GLC. So, yeah, this one was for her. And it's a beautiful card. I mean, I'm not going to go through every single card here. You can kind of see the names of most of them. If you have any questions, definitely reach out. But I know this is not the optimal deck list. I'm not super competitive, and I don't have a meta around me. I don't have a league to go to. There is nothing within an hour and a half to 2 hours within driving distance for me. So I've built every single deck. So if friends want to play, or, you know, my wife will play, I have a deck for each type so they can pick which deck they want to play. I tend to just put in what I want. You know, a lot of people don't have the Sceptile line, but I absolutely love that line. It's one of my favorite Pokemon, one of my favorite starting lines. And, you know, for people that don't really play Sceptile, I get it, but I really like its ability to prevent all damage done to your Pokemon that have any grass energy attached to them by attacks from your opponent's Ultra Beast. So the biggest Ultra Beast, or at least the most popular Ultra Beast, is Guzzlord in the Dark deck. When he knocks out one of your Pokemon, you get to take 2 prize cards instead of 1. Facing Dark, it's kind of nice to have this. And for 1 energy, does 20 damage times the amount of energy attached to all of your Pokemon. So you can hit some pretty good numbers with that too. You know, supporter Pokemon, smaller basic Pokemon. It's not that hard to knock those out. So yeah, I also have 10 grass energy. That is quite a bit for a grass deck. Actually, that's quite a bit for any GLC deck. Most decks do not play 10 energy, but I really am energy hungry, as in I want to excel as much energy as I can. I want to power up everyone as quick as possible. You know, Genesect, Brambleghast, Rillaboom, Torterra can start taking some quick knockouts when you have access to your energy. And you can search out energy with Earthen Vessel or Professor's Letter to get energy, especially when you have 10. You're going to find your energy. And with all of my GLC decks, I love to theme them out. So I have these green dragon shield sleeves. I can't remember what the actual name is of them. I bought these like 2 years ago when I first started building GLC decks. But I like to theme out all of my GLC decks. You know, and I got a green case. That's one thing that drew me to GLC. I dropped standard because it was getting stupid. And I love themes. I always thought being a gym leader was like the coolest thing in the game. I would always do monotype runs in the video game. So this is my opportunity to do it in the TCG now. All right, guys, that is my grass GLC deck list. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think I should improve on? What do you think I should add? What do you think I should take out? Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching.